Did you know the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the biggest movie franchise in history, is now facing its most uncertain era ever? It's not just about multiverse plots or secret wars. Behind the cameras, there's real-life tension between actors, studios, and the growing weight of superhero fatigue. Marvel's story isn't only written in scripts. It's written in contracts, courtroom battles, and the choices of the stars who brought our heroes to life. Today, let's talk about what's really happening in the MCU. The good, the bad, and everything in between. Because the truth is, the Marvel Universe isn't just changing on screen. It's changing behind the scenes, too. Scarlett Johansson, the face of Black Widow, actually sued Disney. Back in 2021, when Black Widow was released simultaneously in theaters and on Disney+, Scarlett filed a lawsuit claiming the studio's streaming decision cost her millions in box office bonuses. It became one of the biggest public clashes between an A-list Marvel actor and the studio. Her contract was built around an exclusive theatrical release. But when Disney pushed it to streaming, box office numbers dropped, and so did her earnings. In the end, the case was settled quietly, reportedly for around $40 million. But it sent a powerful message. Even Marvel's biggest heroes are willing to take a stand for fairness and respect. Then there's Jeremy Renner. Before his life-threatening snowplow accident in early 2023, Renner had already proven himself as a vital part of the MCU's core Avengers lineup. After Hawkeye Season 1, Marvel reportedly offered him a follow-up season, but insiders say he declined when he learned the paycheck was nearly half of what he earned before. For Renner, it wasn't just about money, it was about recognition. He had carried the show, mentored a new Hawkeye, and still wasn't being valued equally. Then the accident happened. During his recovery, he said in interviews that he's focused on healing and family, but he never closed the door to Marvel entirely. Marvel executives have since expressed that they'd welcome him back whenever he's ready, a gesture that proves Renner's strength and heart, both on and off screen, remain impossible to replace. And of course, Ryan Reynolds. When Disney fully absorbed 20th Century Fox, fans worried Deadpool would lose its R-rated edge. Reynolds was clear from the start. Deadpool must stay Deadpool. Behind the scenes, there were debates about tone, violence, and humor. Reynolds fought to keep creative control, working closely with director Sean Levy and writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick to make sure Deadpool 3 stayed true, even under Disney's banner. He even pushed to bring Hugh Jackman's Wolverine back. The real Wolverine, not a watered-down version. In the end, Disney let Reynolds produce the film under his own company, Maximum Effort, with minimal censorship. A rare move that showed trust in his vision, and it paid off. Deadpool and Wolverine became one of Marvel's most successful comeback films. A reminder that sticking to your guns can bring a franchise back to life. Did you know Elizabeth Olsen, the actress behind Wanda Maximoff, admitted she's unsure about her MCU future? After years of emotional storylines in WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness, she confessed she felt burned out. She said she wanted stronger scripts, deeper stories, and the freedom to step into other roles beyond the Scarlet Witch. And honestly, who can blame her? Even heroes need space to breathe. The same goes for Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange himself. He's spoken about the challenge of balancing Marvel's heavy workload with his personal life and smaller, passion-driven projects. No fights, no drama, just an honest reflection on how constant blockbuster pressure can weigh even on the best of them. Tom Holland, still Marvel's golden boy. But did you know he once admitted to feeling completely burned out after No Way Home? He took an entire year-long break, stepping away from acting completely to recharge. Now he's back, and the next Spider-Man film is already in development, proving that sometimes rest is part of being a real-life hero. Tom Hiddleston, Loki himself, hinted that Loki Season 2 might mark the end of his journey. He called it a full-circle moment, If true, it means one of Marvel's longest-running veterans may finally be closing his chapter, gracefully and on his own terms. And he's not alone. Chris Hemsworth revealed that after Thor, Love and Thunder, he needed time off to focus on family and health, and even hinted that his next Thor appearance might be his last. Mark Ruffalo admitted that years of green screen and motion capture work take a toll, though he'd return if Hulk's story ever evolved into something deeper. Gwyneth Paltrow said she's likely done with Pepper Potts, wanting to focus on her own ventures instead of superhero suits. Brie Larson faced intense online backlash and once questioned whether fans still wanted her as Captain Marvel, a moment that reminded everyone how heavy the spotlight can get. Samuel L. Jackson joked that he's getting too old for this stuff after decades as Nick Fury. Letitia Wright confessed that filming Wakanda Forever was one of the most emotionally draining experiences of her life. And Paul Rudd? He laughed about how exhausting it was shooting Quantumania, a different kind of fatigue, but still proof that even the funniest heroes get tired too. If you're enjoying these behind-the-scenes stories of your favorite Marvel stars, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you won't miss the next chapter of this cinematic journey. All right, let's get back to the story. Did you know that Marvel's Thunderbolts, their team-up of anti-heroes, has faced multiple delays? Script rewrites, shifting schedules, creative reworks. They've all pushed it back again and again. It's not a scandal, just the real challenge of rebuilding momentum after Endgame. Then there's the Fantastic Four. The casting of Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Eben Moss-Bachrach sparked both excitement and hesitation. Some fans embraced it, others weren't so sure. Marvel's taking a big risk here, hoping to reinvent one of its oldest legacies for a new generation. Meanwhile, the Eternals, Shang-Chi, and She-Hulk all faced mixed receptions. Not because they failed, but because expectations after Endgame were impossibly high. Every new hero is compared to the legends that built the universe, and that's a tough shadow to step out of. And speaking of legends, Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU, but not as Iron Man. This time, he's stepping into the role of Doctor Doom. It's one of Marvel's boldest and riskiest creative moves yet, because while fans are thrilled to see him back, there's pressure too. How do you bring back the face of your franchise without undoing the sacrifice that defined it? Marvel is walking a thin line between nostalgia and reinvention, and everyone's watching to see if it pays off. Then there's Chris Evans. Rumors say he might return in some form, not as Captain America, but maybe as a variant or cameo in Avengers: Doomsday. But even that raises a deeper question. If the MCU keeps reviving its legends, when do the new heroes finally get their turn to shine? That's the real struggle of Marvel's new phase, balancing legacy with evolution, honoring the past without being trapped by it. And as the multiverse expands, the greatest battle may not be against Kang or Doom, but against Marvel's own history. The Guardians of the Galaxy cast also faced an emotional goodbye. James Gunn's move to DC Studios marked the end of an era for Marvel's misfit heroes. Dave Bautista confirmed he's officially done as Drax, ready to explore more serious roles. Karen Gillan, Nebula herself, admitted she cried while filming her final scenes. Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana both said they're open to returning someday, but only if the story truly makes sense. And though the original team has parted ways, the spirit of the Guardians lives on. Rocket Raccoon now leads what's left of the crew, alongside Groot and Adam Warlock, each carrying the legacy of friendship, loss, and second chances. But beyond the stars, the MCU still has dozens of heroes waiting for their spotlight. On Earth, and in the shadows, there's a different kind of Marvel story waiting to unfold. Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, The Punisher, Elektra, Moon Knight, Blade, Cloak and Dagger, Ghost Rider, Spider-Woman, Echo, all existing in their corners of the universe, watching the chaos unfold. waiting for the call to step back into the light. Then come the mystical and powerful newcomers, Agatha Harkness, Wiccan, Gaia the Skrull, America Chavez, each tied to magic, mystery, and secrets that could reshape the next phase of Marvel's universe. And it doesn't stop there. Scar, the son of Hulk, Namor, the king of Talokan, and even the Inhumans, forgotten but never gone, all standing by for redemption arcs and long overdue stories fans still hope to see. And on the horizon, the Young Avengers. Heroes like Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, Ironheart, and Cassie Lang, forming a bridge between generations and redefining what heroism means for the next era. Meanwhile, the long-awaited X-Men are finally entering the MCU, promising a new wave of mutants, power, and complexity that could reshape everything we know. The MCU may be expanding faster than ever, but not everyone has had their moment yet. Some heroes are still waiting for the right story, the right time, the right reason to rise again. Because in the end, the Marvel Universe isn't just about who's saving the world, it's about who's still waiting for their turn too. And as those untold stories linger in the background, a new question rises. Can the Marvel Universe evolve fast enough to keep up with the heroes who built it and the fans who refuse to let it fade? So, where does Marvel go from here? The next few years will decide if the MCU can evolve from blockbuster factory to something deeper, a balance of legacy and innovation. Marvel's next test comes with Avengers, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Old faces might return, new heroes will rise, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see that balance between storytelling and stardom again. Because at the end of the day, the MCU isn't just about CGI battles or multiverse portals. It's about people, the actors, the creators, and the fans who made these characters feel real. So the next time you rewatch Endgame or No Way Home, remember this. Every scene, every emotion, every sacrifice came from real humans giving their best. That's what keeps the Marvel Universe alive. Not just the power of heroes, but the heart behind them. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Marvel's real-life universe, hit like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.